Hey guys, welcome to Miss Wilson's class. Sorry I couldn't be here today. Welcome any parents that are here. I'm at a math training, so I won't be in today, but Miss Knight will take good care of you. First of all, to get you started, everyone double check your vocabulary from last night. I think 7th period we did it in class. We got to check in class, but 6th period, make sure you got all these correct, and it should be glued down in your notebook on page 18. Keep in mind the slope guy. Now keep your notes out to this vocab page and the page from yesterday with horizontal and vertical lines, because that's going to help us on our activity. Miss Knight, you might need to pause this so they can check them real quick. Okay, now the activity for today is what's the slope of your name? Parents, feel free to do this as well. There's extra copies. So first, you're going to have a graph on the back of the instruction sheet, and it's going to have the x and the y coordinate. You can't reach up there. Then you're going to write your name. This is instruction number 1. On the graph paper, write your name vertically along the paper. Remember, we said vertically is up and down. You have to make sure that each number lands on a whole number, meaning it lands on a perfect intersection. Each letter. And each letter has to cross the y-axis. So remember, the y-axis is right here in the middle. Okay, so everybody write your name right now. Miss Knight, we're going to pause this again. You're going to write your name going across the y-axis. Now remember, yours has to be nicer than this. It has to actually meet the intersections. Here's a couple examples. One is bigger, one is smaller. You can do it whatever size you want. Now remember, the one on the right, Andy, is actually too short. If you look at the bottom of your paper, it says if your name has less than 6 letters, you need to do a last name or add a last initial or choose a different word or even use your parent's name. But it has to be more than 6. Also, you see on this D how I did curved edges? It's because I don't want all undefined and 0 slopes. I want some lines to have positives and negatives. So if you have D's or even the E over here where you could add in some positives and negative slopes, go ahead and do that so they're not all straight. Even on the N I did it. So wherever you can. So any size you want has to be more than 6. We're going to finish the rest of this video to tell you what to do, and then you're going to just go off and work. So you don't have to pause it right here. Now, instruction number 2 on your paper. Caitlin, would you read it for me?
Sure.
Remember your types of slope. Remember your slope man. And he'll help you whenever you're identifying the types of slope. So on this part, Caitlin just told us, we're going to color in whichever type of slope each line is. So you choose your colors. They need to be 4 different colors. Go over your pencil now and make sure you fill in your key at the bottom. Here's my example. So I did Miss Wilson. I did all the different types. Then if you notice, I went back and I numbered each line. I want you to do that as well because you're going to write the equations for these lines. Now, some of the equations are going to be just y equals. Some of them are going to be just x equals. Remember from yesterday? All the vertical lines are going to be x equals something. All the horizontal lines will then be y equals something. But the ones that are positives and negatives, you have to actually go find the slope. And you can do that multiple ways. You can do rise over run, or you can use the formula. Now, I want you to do some of both. So, looking at this one, if we were going to do this together, there's 2 ways to do it. One would be identify these points. Well, this one is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and negative 1. And then this point is 1, 2, 3, 1. Well, what's my slope formula? Think about it. You guys know it. Change in y. You can't really see that. Over change in x. Well, what's my y2? The second y is 1. 1 minus negative 1. And 3 minus negative 5. So 1 minus negative 1 is 1 plus 1, which is 2. 3 minus negative 5 is 3 plus 5, which is 8. And 2 over 8 can be simplified. So the slope of that line is m equals 1/4. Now, sorry if you can't see that yellow very well. Now look at where it crossed the y-axis. It crossed at 0. So that means b equals 0. Y equals mx plus b form. We just did 1/4. So we're going to have y equals 1/4 x plus 0. That's my equation. Okay. Same thing if we did the next one, only this time you could do rise over run. What type of slope is that? It's rising to the left, it's negative. Then how much up did I go? 1, 2. And then how many did I run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 8. 2 up 2 and over 8. But it's negative. Can it be simplified? Yes, just like the one on the last page. That's our m. Now, what's my b? Where did I cross the y-axis this time? Now, it's not an exact one. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's between 3 and 4. So we're just going to guesstimate. You guys don't have to be accurate on this. I mean, be as accurate as you can, but you can just do halves as your decimals. So we're going to say 3.5. And that's the equation. So you'll have very few that you actually have to find the slope and do the equation for. But I want you to do some of each, rise and run and the formula. This is what, you should just do this on notebook paper, but make sure you go back and number your lines just real small so we know what equation goes with what. And if you notice, some of them start to repeat, because if they're going to be, if they're vertical lines, they're going to start continuing. So there's going to be part of the line, then the letter stops, and then you start another letter. So you'll see multiple of the same equation. Okay, so whatever you don't finish is homework. It needs to be nice and colored. Make sure you're using a ruler. I know some of you don't like to use rulers. Remember, John and Ty and all the people with short names, you guys need to make sure that you do first and last or add a different name. And we're going to see which class out of 6th and 7th does the best for the sub. So do what you know to do and get this work done. Don't forget your other assignment that's due tomorrow was page 103 and 104. You guys got it yesterday. Numbers 1 through 13 and 20 through 29. That's due Thursday. Use your notes. Hopefully you started this last night so that if you don't finish the name thing, you don't have both to do. Okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow.